this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Hi, and welcome to another Geeks Review. Today we'll be reviewing Batman Arkham Asylum for the PS3. It's also available on the Xbox 360. Today we're going to go over the pros and cons of this game, and I'll be starting it off by doing the pros. First thing that I want to represent this game for is the graphics. They are insanely perfect, and to the T, it is the most graphically defined game I've played to this date. It is just Batman's figure, muscles, the characters, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Joker, Bane, you name it, they're in this game, and they're as clear as day. It is a beautiful game. The next thing I want to talk about is the story. Now, if you guys are fans of the Batman animated series, which is also an awesome cartoon to pick up, this game is from the writer that did this cartoon, and this game does not disappoint. It takes about 6 to 10 hours to fully complete the storyline, which you all know from the trailer. You got Joker coming back to Arkham Asylum, something's a little fishy, Batman notices it, and then he breaks free and releases hell to Batman. And you just pretty much have to go through there and encounter all of his arch enemies and defeat them. Lastly, let me look at my notes real quick. A great thing about this game is the gadgets and the controls. Now, with every Batman game, you have to think of controls, gadgets. You know, you got the batarang, you got the grappling hook, you got all of his technology, since he is pretty much a genius, and that's his biggest thing for being a superhero, is he knows how to create super high-tech pieces of gorgeousness. You have a thing that you can unlock gates with, that you can decrypt hardware. You have different vision sights that are beautiful, X-ray vision where you can see through walls. I mean, this game does not disappoint when it comes to content. There's so much to do as well after this game is done. You think you're done with the game after you beat the story? Wrong. You have challenges. You have sneak missions. You have missions to where you try to beat up all of the enemies without even taking a single hit of damage. And they have ranking boards to where you can, compare yourself to other people, which is, not bad, even though I suck in my opinion. I'm like rank 3000 something, so whatever. Cool thing on the PS3 exclusive, you can play as Joker in these challenge missions. It is awesome. It is a totally new take on combat. He has different gadgets such as X-ray glasses. Now the thing that sucks about that is you can see the X-ray, you can see through the walls and you can see the people and stuff like that, but you cannot move and you cannot do anything else. He also has, instead of Batman using his cape to stun enemies, he uses his laughing gas, which temporarily disables the person. It's a great game. I highly recommend it, but in all, there are a few flaws, and I'll let John go over the cons now.
And as Scott said, I'm here to go ahead and do the reviews on the con side of the game. Cam wrangles were one of the biggest problems. You go into fight, going into the melee combat. Here comes an enemy out of the right-hand side that you can't see. You're trying to counter that attack, and you can't. Instead, you get punched in the head. Counters is another problem. When you're in your melee combat and you're in the middle of fighting somebody, you go to hit your counter button, you don't get a reaction, or it's a delayed reaction. Therefore, you take a hit and you get injured. A little bit of a problem there. The final boss. We're not going to spoil the game and tell you who the final boss is, but the final boss is a little weak. Out of all the other enemies that you fight and all the other bosses that you fight and deal with, they're a little bit of a challenge. You got to think, you got to do a little bit extra to try to beat them. With a final boss, it's not that way. It's intuitive, it's quick. It's not a long drawn out combat sequence like you would normally expect to see for a final boss. Last, but not exactly least, is 3 alternate endings. Scott and myself ran across this problem. When Scott finished the game, he ran across Scarecrow as the final ending. When I played, I ran across Bane as the final ending after watching all the end credits. The third ending, from what we found on YouTube, is Croc. Croc is your third ending. If you want to see these, go onto YouTube and you can take a peek around.
Thank you, John, for the cons. Pretty much all in all, if you're a fan of Batman, if you like a great story, if you like great combat, definitely check out this game. At least rent it. Spend the 6 to 8 hours. to complete the story. Spend about 2 hours extra doing the challenges. You'll enjoy it. It'll make you know if you want to buy it or not. And, you know, there's not many games out right now that are worthwhile to check out. Now, I know we got some coming up in September, which we'll talk about later on. So, all in all, great game. Check it out.